Welcome to Shul.com. We are reading from the Nevi'im of Chok Israel Lech Lecha Yom Sheni. It's Yeshayah Perek Mem Aleph. And in today is Navi. It says, Mihi Id Mimizrach, who aroused from the east, Sedek Yikra'ehu, the one who's righteous, he would call it Leraglo, Yiten Lefanav Goyim Umnachim Yard, Yiten Ke'afar Charbo Ke'kash Nidaf Kashto. So I'll read you the English. It says, who aroused from the east, the one whom righteousness accompanied. He placed nations before him, and over kings he gave dominion. He made his sword like dust, his bow like wind-blown stubble. Okay. What spoke to me the most was actually that I bumped into this pasuk in Masechet Shabbat on page 156. Let's actually take a look here. There was a issue that when God had told Avraham Avinu that he's going to end up having children, Avraham Avinu told him how. What do you mean how? See, Avraham Avinu was an astrologer, he was an astronomer, and he understood the constellations, the stars, and the galaxies very well. He knew what was going to happen in the future and was able to see the stars and see them. And when God tells him, hey, you're going to end up having children, he says, how so? He says, I know what my mazal is, my constellation, and I'm born in the mazal of Sedek. We're going to look that up right now, how Sedek is Jupiter. And he says, how so? Let's take a look at this Gemara. V'af Rav Sabad in mazal Israel. Rav also held, there's no mazal to Israel. Here we were talking about no mazal to Israel on the collective whole, not in a individual basis. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda said, name the Rav Minan she'en mazal Yisrael. How do we know that? Shneimar v'yotzei oto achutza. But he took him outside. Amar Avraham lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Avraham said to God, Ben beti yoreshoti. He says, my worker, my steward's the one who's gonna take over and inherit everything. Amar lo lav. He said, nope. Ki im asher yitzeh mime'echa. He goes, nope. The one is going to come forward from your loins. Abraham said to him, I looked in my astrology, and I already checked. It's not possible, according to my mazal, to have children. So Hashem tells him, leave. There's no mazal to Israel, even though his grandson was called Yaakov Israel. He says, you also have that. My da'atach says, he says that Jupiter, Sedek, who was the hour that Avraham Avinu was born in, not the day, is situated in the west. And that's why you seemingly have no children. He says, don't worry. I will take that Sedek and I'll move it towards the east. And says there, who awoke Sedek from the east, he summoned it. Why did he summon? Because of Abraham. So he told the planet, okay, I need you to move, so that now that you moved, you control, like it says, we say it in the Tefillah, that Tovim me'orot shebera'am elahinu itzaram beda'at bebina u'haskel kowach u'gvura natan bahem. He gave power and strengthened them, that they control things on earth. So God moved the mazal, and he ended up putting it. That's another reason why we call him Avraham HaEzrahi, Eitan HaEzrahi, that he comes from the east. That what was the east is that they moved the planet over, like it's brought down in the Navi. And so the Navi here is connecting itself to the parasha to remind you that even if you see things in your life that you have proof, they just can't work out for you, don't worry. In mazal Israel, there's no mazal to the entire nation of Israel, and anything can change, and God can make that change. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.